This is what I go through every day. Oh, let's welcome in. Can I talk now? All right. All right. So welcome. I don't know if you guys saw, it's like a never-ending sea of red sitting in front here. I can't wait to see what it looks like on Sunday, right? We're going to double in size there. And so first off, I'd like to thank the parents. We all know that a support system is what gets our kiddos to where they should be right now, and they couldn't do any of that without their family and loved ones. So pretty quickly here, students, this is your chance to thank your parents. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. Also, what I'd like to thank is I'd like to thank the Coon Rapids College Scholarship Association, as well as some of the individual scholarship donors that we have here today. I'm not going to tell you how much we gave away because I did that last year, and I think I kind of ruined the thunder for Jim and Howard there, so I'll leave it to them. But it's a lot. And it's a generosity that I don't think people understand is going to have a great impact on our kids. It's given them a head start in their futures, and what more can we ask for? So I want to thank you. I have a huge amount of gratitude for the families, donors, and the association for putting on this event, as well as I got Ms. Storick and Ms. Cornel Smith, who are two of our counselors here. You'll see them in a little bit, but they do a lot of work behind the scenes during the school day, getting this all organized as well. So I want to thank them. Without further ado, I was told to keep it short, and if I keep going, I'm not going to stop. We got a lot of kids to go through tonight. We're going to start off. Assistant Principal Jeff Thompson is going to come and announce some of our scholarships here, the individual scholarships outside of our scholarship association. So Jeff Thompson. Yay.
I think we keep the round of applause going for the shortest Principal Pena speech we've ever heard as a class. Yes, right? In my 24 years of education, I never get used to this site. It is an absolute amazing, inspiring experience to sit here and see all of you at this capstone of an amazing experience. So thank you, seniors, and thank you, families, for getting them here. So one more round of applause. At this time, I would like to invite Mark Walker-Stouffer to present the Molo Company's scholarship. The recipient for this scholarship, Casey Luukkonen. Next, I would like to present a scholarship on behalf of an amazing staff member here at Coon Rapids High School, Miss Lana Matthews and her family. I'd like to announce the recipients for the second annual Eric Matthews Memorial Scholarship, which was established in remembrance of a beloved son and friend, Eric Matthews, who would be graduating this year. Eric was a Coon Rapids High School student from 2019 to 2021, and his passion was playing the violin. These scholarships are given to graduating seniors pursuing a music-related degree at college. This year, the Matthews family, in cooperation with the Charlottesville Foundation, is giving away 3 scholarships. The first I would like to recognize is a $375 scholarship to violinist Ashley Chung. Back to your seat. The runner-up winner for a $750 scholarship is clarinist Maria Carson. And the first place winner for the scholarship and in our hearts, Ephraim Cooper, for $1,500. Congratulations to these 3 outstanding musicians, and as scholarship winners, may each of your futures be bright and musical. Thank you on behalf of the Matthews family. Next, I would like to invite Joe McKenzie to present the Ann Talley Anoka Chamber of Commerce Scholarship. The first recipient for this scholarship is Nadia Abraham. And last, I would like to recognize Caitlin Fuller. At this time, I'm excited to turn it over to the Coon Rapids Community Scholarship Association and tonight's MCs, Howard Haugen and Jim Bessett.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. We're here at the updated and remodeled Coon Rapids High School Auditorium, and hello to everyone watching at home. I'm Jim Best, President of CRCSA, and on behalf of my colleagues, welcome to the 2023 Coon Rapids Community Scholarship Awards Ceremony. We have a big night ahead of us as we're awarding 205 scholarships. So I'm going to keep acknowledgements in my opening and closing remarks as brief as possible. I'm going to spend about 1 minute for each month the members of the CRCSA have worked to get to this point. Our pinnacle, which is the Scholarship Awards Ceremony. CRCSA is a volunteer organization, and this is our 58th awards ceremony. As we have for the past 5 years, my colleague and past president of CRCSA, Howard Helgen, and I will share the MC duties. We are again delighted to benefit from the skill and resources of local cable network CTN as they live stream and record tonight's ceremony for future YouTube viewing. On behalf of CRCSA, I extend our sincere thanks to Neil Hannon and everyone at CTN for their terrific partnership. A special thank you also to Anoka Hennepin District 11, especially Superintendent Corey McIntyre, Debbie Kofsky, Superintendent McIntyre's executive assistant, and Jim Skelly, the most helpful director of communications for District 11. Thank you also to everyone at Coon Rapids High School, Principal John Pena, and all the administrators, faculty, staff, volunteers, and others for their efforts to support the students. CRCSA had very humble beginnings. The awards history is listed in your programs, but allow me to note that in our first year, 1966, 24 scholarships were awarded for a total amount of just over $4,000. Compare that to tonight when there will be 205 recipients and over $257,000 awarded. Absolutely, that's over $250,000. Let that sink in for a minute. It's not only remarkable, but it is the most money CRCSA has ever awarded in a single year. Looking out at the assembled students, I see tomorrow's leaders in all occupations, some of which may not even exist today. Students, you are the future, and we're happy to be able to help you accomplish your goals and aspirations. This is a very caring and generous community. I want to take a moment to thank the individuals, businesses, and community organizations whose contributions make this evening possible. Some are seated in the section to my far left, over here, and others are waiting patiently in the choir room. Let's not forget, if it wasn't for their collective generosity, the association wouldn't exist, and this evening doesn't happen. Please join me in recognizing them and all our donors for their generosity. Thank you. CRCSA is a qualified 501c3 charity, and there are many ways to give and support the organization, some of which are donations by check, memorial gifts for loved ones, qualified charitable distributions from IRAs, employer matching gifts and dollars for doers opportunities, and advanced planning methods like legacy gifts from wills, trusts, and beneficiary designations. If you or someone you know has any interest in helping CRCSA, please contact us. We would be delighted to visit with you about how to best achieve your charitable goals and wishes. You know, events like this don't just happen. It takes significant planning and coordination. Everyone in the association is committed and works very hard, and collectively, we've been working since last August to get to this point. Please bear with me as I briefly introduce the members of the association. I've got names listed alphabetically here. If you're in the auditorium and you're an association member, just wave and as I say your name. Jill Appel. Along with her husband, I'm just going to give a real quick bio on the people here. Along with her husband, Charlie, Jill was instrumental in setting up our new database, and we really appreciate her work. Stephanie Best. Stephanie is our secretary, having taken over from Bob Powell last year, and she's doing a great job. John Bump. John's been with us for a few years and is also doing a great job. Julia Cornell-Smith is a guidance counselor at the high school and does a terrific job communicating, coordinating, and organizing the student applications. Ashley Gerard has a huge job, along with Amy and Julia, putting this program together. And the three of them collectively are simply the best in the business. This doesn't happen without them. Howard Helgen, behind me here, you'll see him in a minute. In addition to co-emceeing tonight, Howard has been with CRCSA for about 30 years, including being president for 12. He set the bar really high. Julie Jensen has been with us for a couple years and is an invaluable addition to the organization. Some of these people couldn't make it tonight, but I want to recognize them anyway. Sharon Legg helps John and Gail, who you'll hear about in a minute, gather, process, and record the huge volume of donations received. Bob McCann. Thanks to Bob and his business Mailing Solutions for their generous gift of services. This is most appreciated and means more of what we raise goes directly towards scholarships for students rather than expenses. Todd Mensick joined the organization last year and is a very welcome addition. Cindy Miller devotes countless hours visiting with our memorial donors. She does this with concern, compassion, and empathy, and sadly knows the bittersweet joy of a memorial to a loved one lost. Cindy's efforts are instrumental in making the videos we're going to see a moving and inspirational part of the program. Gail Owen is our treasurer, and along with the assistance of her husband, John Sanders, handles and processes the many donations we receive and expertly keeps track of our financial record keeping. John Pena, you met briefly, is the CRHS principal, and we thank him for his steadfast support. Elvina Powell, along with her husband Bob, has been an association member for many years. Bob Powell, as I mentioned with Elvina, was our longtime secretary, and the team of Elvina and Bob helped to maintain and monitor the aluminum can collection receptacle in the parking lot of the high school. As you came in, you probably noticed it's about a third full. This is a very good passive fundraiser for CRCSA, and we appreciate everyone who donates cans. The funds raised from those go directly towards scholarships for students. Just a few more here. Bill Reichenborn. Bill is with the Super Seniors, and like Bob and Elvina, helps maintain that aluminum can receptacle. John Sanders. John is Gail's husband, and we benefit from a 2-for-1 with John assisting Gail as treasurer. Gary Smith is our vice president and has many key contacts and relationships. Pete Spielbauer is our newest member. We're delighted to have him on the team. Amy Storick, a counselor here at the high school like Julia, handles the big job of communicating, coordinating, and organizing the student applications. And last but not least, Libby Storick-Peel. It's Libby's first year, and she's doing great things in analyzing and tracking data. That is your association. Thank you. We already took our photo of the CRCSA members, but I want to give a plug for Laura Wallace. Laura is our official photographer tonight, as she has been for about 20 years. Laura has a business here in Coon Rapids. She's from Coon Rapids. Her business is Legacies by Laura Photography. She's here today to capture portraits during the ceremony with scholarship donors. These images will be available to purchase to commemorate tonight's awards, and you'll be able to find her out in the atrium near the refreshments outside after the ceremony. Photos will be available to order in person at very reasonable prices, and she'll be able to send emails to the students with access codes to view the photos online. Almost done here. Actually, that's it for opening remarks. We're going to have, how about that? First time I looked at these. If I could get students 1 through 32 to line up, Julia on the far wall, is that right? Can follow Julia. While the students line up, I just want to mention 3 important things before we continue. My colleagues and I take great pride in our work for CRCSA and do our best to assure that gifts for named scholarships are acknowledged in the awards program, and that all gifts received are noted in the graduation program. However, due to cutoff dates for printing and rare but occasional inadvertent oversight, omissions sometimes occur. If that happens, we always try to make it right. In addition to today's program and the graduation program, there's going to be a list of full donors published in the Anoka County Herald in July. However, if despite our best efforts there have been any omissions, please accept my apology and know that all gifts, whether it be $10 or $10,000, are most appreciated and go to benefit students. Two last things. We're again delighted to feature several short videos for some of the Memorial Scholarship Awards. We appreciate the heartfelt expression and acknowledge the donor's loss and sadness. CRCSA is honored to have the opportunity to present these scholarships. And lastly, as I mentioned earlier, Howard Helgen and I will once again be sharing the MC duties tonight. We have requested and received phonetic spelling help from students, and Howard and I are going to do the best we can to pronounce all recipients and presenters' names correctly. However, here's an apology in advance for any names we mispronounce. That's it. Here we go with the first scholarship of the evening. We have a scholarship from the Vaness Family Scholarship. Brad, Lynn, Ryan, Caitlin, and Renee Vaness, Michael Vaness, Fall, an alumni, and CRCSA. The presenter is Brad Vaness and Ryan Vaness, and the recipient is Amira Payton. If we could hold the applause until the end, we will, as my friend Bruce Frank used to like to say, we'll be out of here by about 11:30. Won't be that long. Second scholarship is the Beverly McLaughlin Memorial, presented by John McLaughlin, and the recipient is Leah Davis. CRCSA enjoys the support of many community organizations, including athletic and activities booster clubs. Up first among booster clubs in this year's program is the Coon Rapids Volleyball Booster Club. Here to present the two awards is Coach Talana Radzitis, and the first recipient is awarded to Tyra Pavaseth. I think I missed that name. Paviseth. And the second Coon Rapids Volleyball Booster Club and CRCSA scholarship goes to Chloe Hoffman. The Kopp Family Foundation presents a scholarship given by Jave Piner, and the recipient is Emmanuel Oladayo. Graphic Finishing Services, Inc. and CRCSA have a scholarship presented by Scott Storick, and the recipient is William Larrabee. Nancy and David Goldstein are the sister and brother-in-law of our friend and longtime CRCSA member Bruce Frank, who passed away in 2018. Themselves longtime friends and generous supporters of CRCSA, Nancy and David, along with Jill and Mike Goldstein and the Bruce Frank Legacy Bequest, have funded a scholarship in memory of Bruce. This year's recipient is Peyton Martinek. Nancy and David have also agreed to present the Bruce Frank Legacy Bequest. Just a note about that. We at CRCSA stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. One such pillar and stalwart of the organization is our late friend and longtime CRCSA member, Bruce Frank, who, as I just mentioned, passed away in 2018. Through thoughtful planning and a strong desire to help make the world a better place, Bruce, in his estate planning, directed gifts to his favorite charities, one of which was CRCSA. His generosity led to the creation of a legacy scholarship, which will provide scholarships for deserving Coon Rapids students in perpetuity, forever. We thank Bruce's sister and brother-in-law, Nancy and David Goldstein, who could not make it tonight, sorry about that, for joining us to present the Bruce Frank Legacy Bequest Scholarship to this year's recipient, Zoe Scheck. Kate Brashako, alumna, and Hoover Elementary PTO, two donors on this. The presenter is Avis and Nick Brashako, and the recipient is Nicholas Hauger. Oh, I'm sorry. Nicholas, I think, was at an athletic event. Sorry about that. We will get him his scholarship. Border Bank CRC is delighted to have the continued generous support of Border Bank. Once again, we're pleased to have Bank President Eric Haig here to present this year's Border Bank Scholarship to recipient Jalen Staley. Ian, Alan, Jamie, and David Law fund a scholarship in memory of James R. Law, and here to present is Jamie Law. The recipient is Natalie Medina. Part of the fun of this is to have some real long-time donors, and this is one of them. Breitbach Family Dentistry, PA, Dr. Robert Breitbach, DDS, and CRCSA presents a scholarship to Skylar Bergstrom, and presenting is Dr. Robert Breitbach himself. The Socha Family Scholarship in memory of Michaela Peters and CRCSA is next. Michaela Peters was a Coon Rapids High School student who sadly passed away too soon. Nancy Henry Socha and Dave Socha and the Socha family, who are good friends of Michaela and her family, generously support and join CRCSA to fund the Socha Family Scholarship in memory of Michaela Peters. Michaela loved music, and we are honored to have Michaela's father, Bill Peters, here to present this year's scholarship to the talented and musically inclined student and scholar, Amani Harris, who I believe is not here. Is that right? Or is, we've got a stand-in? Yep. Presenting the award is Michaela's father, Bill Peters. Thanks for standing in. Another longtime donor is the Harlan Thurston Foundation. A very generous gift from the Harlan Thurston Foundation will actually fund the following 4 scholarships. We're pleased to have former Anoka Hennepin School Superintendent Roger Giroux join us tonight, and along with CRCSA present the scholarships. The first recipient of the Harlan Thurston Foundation Educational Scholarship is Ethan Marzak. The next Harlan Thurston Foundation Educational Scholarship is awarded to Grace Mossberg. Another Harlan Thurston Foundation Educational Scholarship goes to Alexa Olson. Again, we'll get her the scholarship. Thank you again to the Harlan Thurston Foundation for their generosity. The fourth Harlan Thurston, well, here she is. The fourth, it's live TV. The fourth Harlan Thurston Foundation Educational Scholarship is presented by Roger Giroux to Natalia Velasquez. Alex, Michael, Ron, and Jane Studeman provide a scholarship in memory of Ray Kester and Ann Studeman. Ray was their grandfather who passed away in 2004, and their grandmother, Ann Studeman, passed away in 2012. Here to present the scholarship is Ron Studeman, and the recipient is Maria Carson. The Coon Rapids Lions Foundation has been a longtime supporter of CRCSA, and this year they generously fund 3 scholarships. Presenting the scholarships on behalf of the Coon Rapids Lions Foundation is Steve Linder, and the first recipient is Najma Abade. The second recipient of a scholarship from the Coon Rapids Lions Foundation is Raven Bake. And also receiving a Coon Rapids Lions Foundation scholarship is Philip Yang. If I could invite students 33 to 62 to please line up. We will have our first video of the evening. It is the Beverly Sipperly Family Scholarship in memory of Betty Sipperly.
There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why can't my dream come true? Oh why? There must be peace and understanding sometime. Strong winds of promise that will blow away the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope keeps shining on everyone, tell me why, oh why, oh why won't that...
Betty Sipperly worked for Dr. Kottman Orthodontics, who was a huge supporter of the DECA program and hired students from DECA. DECA, by the way, stands for Distributive Education Club of America and prepares emerging leaders and entrepreneurs in marketing, finance, hospitality, and management in high schools and colleges around the globe. We are honored to have Lawrence Sipperly, Betty's husband, and Heidi Rowe, Betty's daughter, here to present, along with Joe Vetch, Kevin, and Char Sipperly, to present the Betty Sipperly Family Scholarship in memory of Betty Sipperly to Jordana Bradford. Libby Storick-Peel, an alumna and member of CRCSA and the RMS Company, present a scholarship to Luke Sorrell. And the presenter is Rob Storick. He's here. Another booster club that generously supports CRCSA is the Coon Rapids Girls Lacrosse Booster Club. And Susie Griffiths is here to present a scholarship to Jordan Beck. The Coon Rapids Super Senior Club has been a staunch supporter of CRCSA for years, and I'm proud to say one of their members, Bill Reichenborn, is a longtime and valued CRCSA colleague. This year, the Coon Rapids Super Senior Club has generously funded 3 scholarships, and presenting the scholarships will be Denny Dorsey, Bernice Olson, and Jordice Powell. The first recipient is Mackenzie Crosby. The second recipient of a Coon Rapids Super Senior Club scholarship is Avery Davis. And also receiving a scholarship from the Coon Rapids Super Senior Club is Jenna Kablawi. Kelly Dye Anderson was a 1977 graduate from Coon Rapids High School and earned a degree in education from Bethel University and later a master's education from the University of Minnesota. Master's in education, from the University of Minnesota. She taught for 5 years in Montana and then for over 30 years in the Anoka-Hennepin School District. Without a scholarship and other aid she received, Kelly could never have pursued her lifelong dream of becoming a teacher. In gratitude, Kelly desired to pay it forward and gift a scholarship to a Coon Rapids graduate desiring to pursue a degree in education. Here to present the Kelly Dye Anderson Memorial Scholarship is Kelly's husband, Rob Anderson, and the recipient is Isabel Siminski. CRCSA enjoys the support of several elementary school parent groups which fund scholarships to be awarded to a former student from their respective schools. Here to present the Adams Elementary School PAC and CRCSA scholarship is Tim Simonson, and the award goes to Brianna Salazar. The Hedman Family Scholarship. Karen Hedman was a member of CRCSA. The presenter is her daughter Kelsey, along with Kelsey's fiance Scott Ridgman. The recipient is Josie Fisher. Next up is the Hyde Family Runners Scholarship and CRCSA. The Hyde family, Jenna, Leanne, and Daryl Hyde, present the scholarship to Michaela D'Souza. The Vecchio Evanson Family Scholarship, Michelle, Nathan, and Natalia, and CRCSA, have a scholarship presented by Amy Vecchio and Claudia Vecchio. The recipient is Abigail Vang.
Well, this next scholarship is somewhat personal to me. This is the Lee Sorsley Memorial Scholarship. Lee Sorsley was a great football player here at Coon Rapids High School. I knew Lee for many years, going back to the years of youth football. My son Mike and Lee were co-captains on the 2001 Cardinal football team. Lee went on to a full-ride scholarship at UMD as a football player, and then after blowing out his knee, he went on to a work career. He worked for Lowe's, eventually moved up to the manager of their Maple Grove store. Tragically, Lee passed away last November, very, very early. And his mother, Kathy Sandberg, and Lee's friends have established a memorial scholarship in his honor to be given to those exhibiting academic prowess, hard work, perseverance, and leadership. So let's take a look at the video in Lee's memory. Kathy Sandberg, Lee's mother, is going to be presenting the first Lee Sorsley Memorial Scholarship to Jackson Smith. And the second Lee Sorsley Memorial Scholarship goes to Griffin Tom.
Thank you, Howard. Coon Rapids Youth Hockey has been a longtime supporter. The presenter tonight for the Coon Rapids Youth Hockey Scholarship is Sue Erickson, and the recipient is Ben Klubek. The second Coon Rapids Youth Hockey and CRCSA Scholarship, also presented by Sue Erickson, goes to Adam Sartwell. We are delighted and honored to have the continued support of the Connexus Energy Foundation as they again generously fund 5 scholarships. Here to present the awards is Mike Thews from the Connexus Energy Foundation Board of Directors. The first recipient is Zachariah Abdi. Second scholarship from the Connexus Energy Foundation goes to Nathan Bornis. The third scholarship from the Connexus Energy Foundation is awarded to Akulong George. Receiving the fourth scholarship from the Connexus Energy Foundation is Ruby Jermu. And the recipient for the fifth scholarship, generously funded by the Connexus Energy Foundation, is Natalie Mua. Thank you. Coon Rapids High School Gymnastics Booster Club and CRCSA is proud to award a scholarship presented by Becky Defoe. The recipient is Erica Koto. The second Coon Rapids High School Gymnastics Booster Club and CRCSA Scholarship goes to Ada Drummy. Ada is a baseball manager and is with the team at their sectional game. So standing in to receive the scholarship is someone I don't know. Her mother. Oh, fantastic. It's her mother. The Coon Rapids High School Gymnastics Booster Club also presents a scholarship to Cecilia O'Reilly. Dennis Camp was a dedicated student athlete who sadly passed away in February 2023. His friends and family have generously donated to create 3 Dennis Camp Memorial Scholarships in the hope and belief that Dennis's memory is best served by the recipient emulating his strong inner drive towards excelling in academia, athletics, and the arts. Here to present the scholarship is Dennis's sister, Jill Camp. It's not Jill Camp, it's my colleague, Cindy Miller, for Jill Camp, and the recipient is still Jesse Artisan Coe. I would have paid attention to my note, I would have known that. The second Dennis Camp Memorial Scholarship, funded by friends and family of Dennis, goes to J.E. Lohr. And the third Dennis Camp Memorial, also funded by Dennis's friends and family, is awarded to Elijah Tabla. Corey Yelskiba, alumna, in memory of Tell and Wanda Yell and Ron Burgess have been longtime donors to CRCSA. This year, along with CRCSA, they present a scholarship to George Barman, and the scholarship presenter is Stephanie Best.
Well, our next scholarship will move into the legal field, and James Page and retired Judge Sharon Hall have been generous donors to our association for many years. I talked to Judge Hall a little bit this evening, and I didn't tell her, but it's a little known fact. She probably doesn't remember this, but probably 40 years ago, she and I were opposing counsel in a case. And I won't tell you when, but actually the case was settled, so we were both happy. But anyway, this year the James Page and Sharon Hall have awarded 3 scholarships, and the first one goes to Anu Boris Che. And the second scholarship presented by James Page and Sharon Hall goes to Sonia McGregor. And the third scholarship goes to Sydney Muir. The Alpha Rho chapter of the Delta Kappa Gamma Society International is giving a scholarship in memory of their member Dorothy Hendrickson, and this is presented by Rosalie Houston. The recipient, Samantha Skull. And Rosalie Houston, who is an alumnus of the school, is also presenting a Future Educator Scholarship along with CRCSA. And Rosalie is a third-generation teacher. She graduated from Coon Rapids High School in 1969, had a 34-year teaching career, mostly at Johnsville Elementary and Madison Elementary as a reading teacher and first-grade teacher. Her grandmother, mother, her sister, 4 cousins, as well as many other relatives are all educators. So Rosalie is presenting a scholarship this year, and the recipient is Dominic Ullman. And this is meant to honor and encourage a student planning on a career in education who could carry on the legacy of her family. The Appel Family Scholarship is presented by Charlie, Jill, Madeline, and Finn. Get the younger generation out here. And this goes to Ikeira Deary. Hollenbach and Nelson Incorporated and CRCSA award a scholarship to Deborah Gassiri, presented by Dane Nelson. Our next scholarship fits into the Legacy Scholarship category. ABC Gymnastics has generously made a donation that will create a perpetual scholarship that's awarded each year along with CRCSA. The presenter is Don Mannion, this year's recipient, Pernices Wagner. The Sue Scott Memorial Scholarship is donated by Ron, Karen, and Peter Scott and CRCSA in memory of Sue Scott. Ron Scott was the Coon Rapids football coach from about 1965 to 1988, and his wife Karen Scott was involved in our scholarship association, and we believe that it was her that actually invited Bruce Frank to become part of the association. Ron and Karen's daughter, Sue Scott, graduated from Coon Rapids High School in 1976 and was a marketing professional in the hearing industry for many years. And unfortunately, she passed away early at the age of 59. So this year, the Sue Scott Memorial Scholarship goes to Kennedy Martinson, presented by Ron and Karen Scott. I may be mispronouncing part of this next one, and I apologize, but the Spielbauer, and I'm not sure if it's Sendati Family Scholarship, is going to be presented to Arlis Nunez by Peter and Lupe Spielbauer. Northeast Bank has been another longtime donor. This year's recipient from Northeast Bank Scholarship is Kyle Mountain, presented by Mark Ethan. CRCSA presents a scholarship to Jace Flansburgh, presented by Todd Mensink. The next scholarship is another one that's a memorial scholarship. This is a special one. It's the Lori M. Brown Memorial Courage Award and Scholarship. This is presented by Bob and Duncan Fox, but let me just mention a little bit about this. Lori Brown was a 1980 graduate of Coon Rapids High School. She was a 3-year member of the cross-country running team that was 5th at the state in 1979. She was a 3-year member and captain of the girls' track team. She set a school record in the half-mile run that lasted for over 15 years. She passed away from pancreatic cancer way too early in June 2010, survived by her husband Bob, children Duncan and Erica, and by her parents at that time who are now, William, her father passed away in 2022, and her mother Norma has moved to California. So this year's scholarship presented by Bob and Duncan Fox goes to Ash Cacciarella. Kotke's Bus Service and CRCSA award a scholarship to Jacob Lopez, presented by Jessica Kotchen. Okay, at this point, we can line up students 63 to 89, and I hope the air conditioning is holding up. I know when I was a kid, we didn't really have much air conditioning. Then we got the 585 air conditioner. You opened all 5 windows on your car and drove 85 miles an hour.
Thank you, Howard. The next one's another fun one. We have the Mary Holmgren Education Scholarship by the Holmgren family in CRCSA. Let me read a little bit about this. Mary Holmgren, who you see there with her son Ryan, taught health and physical education at Coon Rapids High School for 37 years. She actually just said she had my daughter in class. Earlier this year, her 4 children established the Mary Holmgren Education Scholarship to honor her legacy by providing financial support to future educators. Here's a bit about her incredible career. After graduating from St. Cloud State University in 1974, Mary began teaching at Coon Rapids High School, where she remained until her retirement in 2011. In her time here at Coon Rapids, she taught close to 13,000 students, but is embarrassed to admit that after all these years, she doesn't remember every one of their names. We'll give her a pass on that. Highlights of her teaching career include establishing a health screening program for students in the early 1990s, which was later expanded to all Anoka Hennepin School District high schools. She also served as Coon Rapids Health Department Chair, and a fun fact, she began the district's very first aerobics class. In addition to teaching, Mary was a coach for the girls' swimming and diving team and the gymnastics team from 1974 to 1980. She served as an assistant track and field coach for 6 years as well, and she even got talked into coaching softball one year when the team was short an assistant. After having kids, she stepped away from coaching but served as the girls' equipment manager for 25 years. You may also recognize her voice as the public address announcer for the Northwest Suburban Conference track and field meet for the past 25 years. Quite a resume, she's done it all. And since retiring, Mary has worked in other capacities at Coon Rapids, often substitute teaching and proctoring AP tests. In total, Mary Holmgren has dutifully served Coon Rapids High School for 49 years. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. She's left a lasting impact on the lives of countless students, teachers, coaches, and administrators. Her children, Brett, Stacy, Krista, and Ryan, and her husband, Mike, are so proud of all she's accomplished. We welcome Mary tonight, and along with her is her son, Ryan, to present the inaugural Mary Holmgren Education Scholarship to Lucas Taylor.
COP Family Foundation Scholarship goes to Ariel Jaspers, presented by Jill Appel and Finn. And Madeline also. Brian and Maureen Eichstead have donated a scholarship presented by John Bump. The recipient is Tyler Mertz. Many of our elementary schools' PTOs are generous longtime donors. Hoover Elementary PTO and Barbara and Kristen Nielsen present a scholarship to Tawny Lassard, presented by Stephanie Best.
I mentioned earlier, while we do our best to assure that all gifts are acknowledged, there are occasional inadvertent oversights and omissions. One such omission and oversight occurred last year while presenting the Memorial Scholarship funded by Mark Rozak in memory of his wife, Jackie Rozak, CRHS alumna. I contacted Mark after last year's awards ceremony to express how sorry we were for the omission and informed him that the recognition would be published in the local ABC newspaper. He graciously accepted my apology, and we appreciate his continued generous support. Here to present the scholarship this year is Mark Rozak, Sarah Lindholm, and Mila Lindholm. I just want to read a little bit about Jackie. Jackie Johnston Rozak was a graduate of Coon Rapids High School, class of 1973. Her dedication and insistence for post-secondary education for her own children prompted this scholarship opportunity for other students. Having many family members that served in the military, she dedicated time and money to help veterans and their children through the organization Two Wheels for Heroes, who we'll hear from later, to ease the cost of post-secondary education. Jackie's memory will be preserved through this scholarship. The recipient of the Mark Rozak in memory of Jackie Rozak Scholarship is Rylan Price.
Tom Kiekhofer, alumnus, awards a scholarship in honor of foreign exchange students, also from CRCSA. The recipient is Cynthia Garcia, presented by Tom Kiekhofer. The Cardinal Hockey Red Line Club and CRCSA award a scholarship to Nathan Klinsing, presenter Sarah Barsness. The Cardinal Tennis Association and the Cardinal Hockey Red Line Club award a scholarship to Peyton Leet, presented by Sarah Barsness. Now we have several Cardinal Tennis Association scholarships, also involving CRCSA, presented by Scott Stork. The first one goes to Benjamin Hesley. The next recipient, Cal Jensvold. Next on board, Samuel Murillo. Next recipient, Lillian Newton. And last but not least, recipient of the Cardinal Tennis Association and CRCSA Scholarship, Luke Ross. This next scholarship is a special one. It's in memory of Julie Brasheko, given by the Brasheko family and CRCSA. And Nick and Avis Brasheko have been members of our association. Julie was a Coon Rapids High School graduate. Her Cardinal hockey team played in the state tournament. I remember going down to the XL Energy Center and seeing Julie be the goalie on that team. It was a special team. So let's take a look at the video in memory of Julie, who passed away way too young.
If anyone understood the power of education, it was Julie. Like all of you sitting in the audience tonight, Julie accomplished many things in high school. She graduated with honors, was a stellar hockey player, and school mascot. But her high school accomplishments don't define her, just like yours don't define you. Julie started her journey post-high school by getting an architectural drafting degree. Unfortunately, it was during the 2008 recession. She struggled to find a job, so she decided to go back to school to get carpentry, mason, and construction management degrees. Julie really enjoyed working as a bricklayer for a number of years and was good at it. Really good at it. Sadly, she suffered a traumatic brain injury, curling, that forced her out of this career. But that didn't stop her from giving up. She turned back to education. Julie went back to school to become an EEG technician, brain scans. She went on to work at both the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and the Mayo Clinic. While she had many career accomplishments, all through her young adult life, Julie struggled with mental illness. She used her experiences with mental illness to help others in their struggles. She was very involved in SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education. Julie ultimately lost her life to her mental illness this past September. She was an amazing daughter, sister, aunt, friend, and advocate for mental health. Julie understood the power of education for both your career and passions, but also for how it can help other people. Today is a milestone. It tells you how far you've come. Keep learning, keep trying, keep accomplishing, and keep venturing through your journey.
Julie's parents, Avis and Nick Brasheko, present the Brasheko Family Scholarship in memory of Julie Brasheko to Tierra Punglung Malay. Avis and Nick Brasheko also have donated a scholarship in memory of Arlene Zeithammer, Avis's mother, also presented by CRCSA. The recipient is Tegan Reeves, presented by Avis and Nick Brasheko. The Coon Rapids Middle School Falcon Council and CRCSA award a scholarship to Maylin Stiles. The presenter is Deman Seals. Yep, great, thanks. Okay, if students number 90 to 119 would please line up. And while they're lining up, we'll continue on with the Dr. Mark Kelly Alumnus Scholarship. This is in honor of Gerald and Dolores Kelly. Mark's sister, Denise Evans, is a retired Anoka Hennepin School District teacher and a 1975 Coon Rapids High School graduate. And it's my understanding, if I'm not incorrect, Denise, that you are interested in joining the association. And so let me just take this step to encourage all of you that are in the audience tonight. If you'd like to join us in this adventure, we can always use new blood. And you don't have to call and make cold calls and knock on doors and ask people for money. We have people that do data entry. We have all sorts of things. And so please consider joining the adventure. And we'll have a table out, I think, by the student store after the ceremony tonight. If you're interested, come over and talk to us. So anyway, this year the recipient of the Dr. Mark Kelly Scholarship in honor of Gerald and Dolores Kelly is Wesley Vang, presented by Denise Evans. All right, this next one you're going to like. This is a fun one. This is the 2014 Coon Rapids Fantasy Football League Scholarship. Now entering the stage are Dylan Brovik, Steph Kronebush, Huck Vu, Adam Wales, David Dajmovic, Mitchell Pulowski, Jeremy Becker, Zach Klish, Jason Medved, and I hope I got everybody's name correct, but I did the best I could. But after graduating from Coon Rapids High School, they created the 2014 Coon Rapids Fantasy Football League as a way to stay connected after graduating. The league consisted of 12 alumni who all benefited from a community scholarship. So this is giving back to the community from these guys. So we commend that. So they set out to different colleges across the country, and they're proud to be able to give back to the community and help a student begin their journey just as they did in 2014. Through the scholarship they have donated, they hope to inspire others to stay connected to the great friends that are made during the time here at Coon Rapids High School, and sometime in the future, when possible, to give back to the community that they all grew up in. So as they say, always remember, when you're a Cardinal, you never stand alone. Dakota Fornes, the 2014 grad, said that. So the recipient this year of the 2014 Coon Rapids Fantasy Football League Scholarship, presented by all these guys, is Charles Kukoro Bowman. So we now move from a little comedy relief to another serious issue, because we now have the Anna Novak Madison Courage Over Fear Scholarship, presented by the Novak family and Coon Rapids Community Scholarship Association. Anna was a 2009 graduate of Coon Rapids High School. She was the middle child, had 6 older and 6 younger siblings, which mirrored the way that she was centered in the life of the family. Although she had cystic fibrosis, Anna intentionally lived beyond her diagnosis and refused to limit her life to her illness. She graduated from the College of St. Benedict with a degree in elementary education, completed her student teaching, and then received her teaching license from the state of Minnesota. She was a strong, independent, sassy, and joyful young woman who decided that for her, CF would stand for Courage Over Fear. She lived bravely until her death in 2014 at the age of 23, leaving behind a legacy for her family to continue. So this year, presented by Brian and Cindy Novak, a scholarship is awarded in honor of their daughter Anna to Adaisy Kalu. Federal ammunition and CRCSA award a scholarship to Kellen Karnowski, presented by Mark Highland. The Coon Rapids High School Dance Team Booster Club and CRCSA are awarding 2 scholarships. Both are presented by Denise Mooney. First recipient, Chloe Creer. Second recipient, Anna Van Holzen. You know, Jim mentioned that I think I'd been in the association for over 30 years. I kind of lost track. I was president for a while before I was impeached, and Jim took over. That's supposed to be a joke, but but when I joined the association, we already had some loyal members called John and Judy Sabo. And John and Judy are retiring from the association this year after I don't know how many years, probably 40 or more years. And I got to tell you that if you've been here for other scholarship years, you've probably seen John and Judy walk across this stage and award probably hundreds of scholarships to the graduates of this high school. So some of you may be here for the first time, but this is something that you can't really replace people like this in our association. They were instrumental in the life of this association. Judy was a longtime teacher in Okehennepin. John worked for the IRS, but long after their retirement, they stayed in there. So we are grateful to John and Judy, and we honor them tonight for their years of service by awarding a scholarship in recognition of their time in the association. This is presented by our board member, John Sanders. The recipient is Brooklyn Nienaber.
We have another memorial scholarship. Brady McLean was a 2012 graduate from Coon Rapids High School who excelled in STEP, or Secondary Technical Education Program. Sadly, Brady passed away in 2016. His family generously funds a scholarship with CRCSA to honor Brady and benefit students interested in furthering their education. This year's Brady McLean Memorial Scholarship is presented by Brady's parent, John Lom, and is awarded to Miharet Kassan.
Gary Smith, our vice president, and his daughter Alexandra Smith award the next scholarship. This is the Keller Williams Classic Realty and CRCSA Scholarship, presented by Gary Smith to Ileona Munson. Brian and Maureen Eichstead and CRCSA award a scholarship presented by John Bump, recipient, Mi Pham. Those of you who generously donate to our association receive mailings that go out, and we have a member of our association named Bob McCann who runs a business called Mailing Solutions Incorporated. And Bob generously sends out all those mailings at a bulk rate and does that through his business at no cost to us other than the postage. And it's really a blessing for us to have that, and Bob's also a member of our association. So the Bob McCann Mailing Solutions Incorporated Scholarship recipient is Jonathan Poksheva, presented by Gail Owen, board member. The next scholarship is also a very special one. It's the Joe Miller Aloha Hero Memorial Scholarship, presented by Cindy Miller, who's a longtime member of our association and also an alumnus of Coon Rapids High School. Joe Miller, Cindy's husband, was a Coon Rapids High School grad who tragically died in an accident back in 2008. His wife, Cindy, and their children, Jonathan and Hannah, established a Joe Miller Aloha Hero Scholarship in his memory because Joe just really loved Hawaii. So let's take a look at the video that we have for the Joe Miller Aloha Hero Scholarship. And I should also mention that Cindy Miller heads up our memorial committee, so those of you who have given memorial scholarships have dealt with Cindy, and she generously gives of her time in that capacity. So the first recipient of the Joe Miller Aloha Hero Memorial Scholarship, presented by Cindy Miller, is Ephraim Cooper. There's the Hawaiian lei. Sorry. And the second recipient is Hannah Wetterhan. Okay, if students number 120 to 150 could also line up, that would be great. And while they're lining up, we'll continue. Rob Storick, alumnus, and Steinwall Incorporated award a scholarship to Carly Hafferman, presented by Rob Storick. Amy Stork presents the Strom Family Scholarship, Marcus and Susan Strom and CRCSA. Recipient is Nina Weimholt. I know that Nina is going to be going to Belgium as the Rotary Exchange student this year, so she will be deferring her scholarship. So I should mention that any of you that end up having to defer a scholarship for some reason like that, you can write to the association and ask to defer your scholarship for a year, but you do have to let us know. Okay, the next donor is the Competition Cheer Spirit Booster Club that's now known as Charitable Minnesota, and CRCSA. Lauren Barron is presenting scholarships. The first recipient is Lauren Martin. Lauren! Yeah! The second recipient, Sienna Vang. The next scholarship is a Shirley and Merrill Galliette Memorial given by Patricia and Dean Hannenberg, Jeff and Sue Andrea, Daniel Galliette, and Kim Feddick, along with CRCSA. Shirley was a longtime secretary at L.O. Jacob, and the scholarship is presented by Jeff and Sue Andrea. The recipient is Iodine Canet. There's a second related scholarship. It's Shirley and Merrill Galliette Memorial. This is presented by Dave and Barb Galliette, Lucas and Kayla Galliette, Christine and Avi Canal, and CRCSA, and the actual presenter is David Galliette. Recipient this is Kevin Cheye. The Coon Rapids Gridiron Club presents a scholarship to Nathan Caminati. Presenter is Jeff Thompson. Todd and Kelly Mensing and the Mercy Hospital medical staff present a scholarship to Shemba Kasim, presented by Todd Mensing. The next scholarship is a special one as well. It's the Marlon Highland Memorial Scholarship given by the friends and family of Marlon Highland. Marlon Highland had a 45-year career in education. He was born down by Hayfield, Minnesota, and started his education in a one-room schoolhouse. Ended up going to Luther College and then got an advanced degree from Michigan State. But in his 4 decades with the Anoka-Hennepin School District, he taught at Coon Rapids High School for the bulk of that. I think it was 25 or 35 years. But he loved teaching chemistry and earth science, but his true love was coaching, wrestling and women's fast pitch. His fast pitch team won the first state championship tournament, which was, I guess, Coon Rapids High School's first state championship. And he was inducted into the Minnesota Coaches Hall of Fame for both wrestling and fast pitch. Living in Coon Rapids for over 50 years, Marlon died in January of this year at age 86. So his family and many, many friends have generously contributed funds in his honor, and we have 3 scholarships that will be awarded tonight. These are presented by Mark Highland, Eric Highland, and Amy Barretts Highland. And the first recipient is McKenna Bell. The second recipient, Josiah Ashworth. And the third scholarship goes to Nathaniel Solberg. And we also have one more related scholarship. John Sundstrom and CRCSA have donated funds in memory of Marlon Highland. This is also presented by the Highland family to Grace Narog.
The Anoka-Hennepin Elementary and Secondary Principals Association and CRCSA present a scholarship to Bella Eliotto, and it's presented by John Pena. Keith Cook is a Coon Rapids High School graduate who is a long-term supporter of CRCSA. For years, Keith has generously donated to fund scholarships for deserving students. We appreciate Keith being here to present his scholarship to Chris Varghese. Deep Portage Holdings and Kelly and Deb Becker alumni present a scholarship to Miranda Frostley, and it's presented by CRCSA member Gary Smith. Earlier, I referenced Two Wheels for Heroes, and here's a scholarship that they fund in memory of Jackie Rozak, CRHS alumna. Two Wheels for Heroes is a veteran-based nonprofit organization centered around motorcycles and has been serving veterans and families to enrich lives since 2008. Over the past several years, they have been funding scholarships locally to help children and grandchildren of veterans. The scholarship is in remembrance of Coon Rapids High School alumni Jackie Rozak, who was an instrumental supporter of Two Wheels for Heroes for many years. We're delighted to have Two Wheels for Heroes as supporters of CRCSA and welcome Jeff Holmstrom and Ted Grundhauser to present this year's Two Wheels for Heroes Scholarship in memory of Jackie Rozak, CRHS alumna, to Lucy Hunkosa. CRCSA members John Sanders and Gail Owen, in honor of Jane Sanders, the year of 2000, and Libby Sanders Hesh, 2005, their children, and Morris Bay Elementary PTO present a scholarship to Precious Obonyo, and the presenter is Libby Hesh. Transformative Circle is back again as a generous donor to CRCSA. They have a Leadership and Diversity Scholarship, and along with CRCSA, present a scholarship to C.J. Dean, and the presenter is Luann Koskinen. Now, I was reprimanded by Luann not to sing happy birthday to her. Her birthday is Saturday, but she is going to get, I read the rules. You cannot eat this in here because there's no food in the auditorium, but here's a cupcake. Happy birthday. As I said last year, I'm probably going to pay for that one, but it was fun. Kathy Casey, in memory of our longtime colleague Dick Casey, and CRCSA is proud to present a scholarship to Haley Zhang. Here to present is Dick's wife, Kathy, and his daughter, Megan Casey. Thank you for the latitude. Kristen and Raj Carlson Vinjamuri, alumni, and Derek Ellingson present a scholarship to Walitha Davies. The presenters are Jamie Carlson and Serena Vinjamuri. Tammy Baer was a teacher in the Anoka-Hennepin district for 22 years. The last 18 as an admired and respected second grade teacher at Hoover Elementary in Coon Rapids. Sadly, Tammy passed away in 2017 at the age of 45 and left her family and friends created a scholarship to benefit students she taught as they graduate from high school. We welcome the Baer family to present 4 Tammy Baer Memorial Scholarships, the first of which is presented to Cora Brooks. The presenters are the Baer family, Tammy's husband Ryan, and their 3 kids, Kaylee, Drew, and Chloe. The second Tammy Baer Memorial Scholarship goes to Caitlin Caminati. The third Tammy Baer Memorial Scholarship recipient is Caden Pierre Inkochu. The Baer family is also presenting a scholarship donated by the Freedom Financial Partners, LLC, and Trevor Christian to the Tammy Baer Memorial and CRCSA. We appreciate their generosity, and the recipient is Mercedes Sanasake Jones. Thank you. New Creations Child Care and Learning Center and CRCSA present a scholarship to Tavifa Longhinova, and the presenter is Courtney Jones. The Gerhard Funeral Home, Scharfenkamp, and CRCSA present a scholarship, and the recipient is Zaki Ibrahim, and the presenter is Danielle Callahan.
One of the reasons we're able to give away as much money as we do is because we have donors that give from year to year. This next scholarship is a great example of this. This is the Mary Helm Duryea alumnus and Peter Duryea alumnus in memory of their father, R.W. Bill Helm. And Mary indicated that her mom, Liz Helm, and we're going to be having a scholarship in her memory a little bit later, but Liz joined the association probably in about 1979 after their father passed away in December 1978. So at that time in 1979, they started the R.W. Bill Helm Scholarship. This is the 43rd year that they've donated to that scholarship. Amazing. So this is in honor of their father, Bill Helm, presented by Amy Storick. The recipient is Trishawn Travis.
All Seasons Garage Door, Karen Birch and Neil Northfield alumni and CRCSA present a scholarship to Michael Vasquez, and the presenter is CRCSA member John Bump. Kathy Hammergun Lovick, along with her husband Tom, were 1981 graduates of CRHS and were also high school sweethearts. Their 4 children, Abby, Hank, Ava, and Louis, are also CRHS grads along with their siblings and nieces. Kathy enjoyed volunteering at church, watching her kids' sporting events, cooking for family, her dogs, and time at their cabin. Writing was one of Kathy's passions, which took her into a career as a director of corporate communications for Tennant Company. People with special needs and disabilities have been a big part of her life. The teachers that were involved with Abby were wonderful, and the family wants the next generation to be strong. Sadly, Kathy died on June 6th, 2022. Her husband Tom, along with their daughters Ava Lovick and Abby Cassidy, proudly present scholarships in memory of Kathy Hammergun Lovick. The first recipient is Kevin Jenis Tlaseka. The second scholarship in memory of Kathy Hammergun Lovick scholarship goes to Laura St. Hilaire. Laura may not be with us, but we'll get her the scholarship. I'm sorry, Tom. Coon Rapids, thank you. Coon Rapids Girls Soccer Booster Club is another longtime supporter of CRCSA. And tonight, Susie Griffith, on their behalf, presents a scholarship to Sarah Force. Another Coon Rapids Girls Soccer Booster Club and CRCSA scholarship goes to Brooke Griffith. And the Coon Rapids Girls Soccer Booster Club also presents a scholarship to Lucy Wynn, and Lucy is also a baseball manager and was with the team at their sectional game. Standing in is the mother of our previous recipient, I believe. Right? I did remember. And another scholarship from the Coon Rapids Girls Soccer Booster Club goes to Kari Reiners. Susie Griffith is just going to stay up here, I think. We've got another one that she's going to present along with, I think, Jeff Thompson, maybe not. It's a girls soccer booster club and Coon Rapids High School girls basketball booster, and it goes to Emily Snicker. The Coon Rapids High School girls basketball booster club presents a scholarship to Alex Schmidt, and it's presented by Principal John Pena.
The next two scholarships are presented by Fran McGarry. The first one is the Catherine Pearson Memorial Scholarship, donated by Celia Marshik and Heather McGarry Traeger, alumni, and CRCSA. The recipient is Sochi Agocha. The second scholarship presented by Fran McGarry is the Heather McGarry Traeger Scholarship in memory of Bill McGarry. Heather graduated from Coon Rapids High School in 1988. Her dad, Bill, died in 1993. This scholarship that Heather awards is because she says it's in honor of her dad, Bill, who Heather says made her education meaningful and possible. So presented by Fran McGarry, the recipient, Amanda Thor. The next scholarship is the Michael and Brenda Helm in memory of Elizabeth Liz Helm Scholarship. And we just talked a few minutes ago about Liz's husband, but Liz was a longtime member of our association. And Liz died in 2009, and she was very active, and again, she would have walked across this stage many times to award scholarship. So Mike Helm and his wife Brenda have been presenting or sending in the Liz Helm Scholarship donation for many, many years. And Liz was very passionate about education and devoted many, many years of volunteer service to our association. So this year, the recipient is Mac Verplatza, and it's presented by Jill Appel and Madeline and Finn. Kevin and Pat Wachek have given a scholarship presented by Gail Owen to Mackenzie Yang. Tim Anderson and Heather Mortensen have donated a scholarship in honor of Dwayne and Joanne Hammergren, also donated by CRCSA. Joanne was a RN at Mercy Hospital, and Dwayne, I believe, was the co-owner of Hanson Drug. So tonight, their daughter, Karen Mortensen, is presenting this scholarship, and the recipient is Eleanor Defoe.
The Roseanne Family Scholarship from Stan and Jeanette Roseanne and the Ostendorf Family Scholarship, Ryan Ostendorf alumnus, is presented to Eli Head, and the presenter is my colleague, John Sanders. Margaret Sovold Memorial Scholarship, the Mary T. Family of Companies in CRCSA, presents a scholarship to Sydney Holloway, and it's presented by Scott Rugel. The Coon Rapids retired staff, Mike Ria, Steve Hengen, Joe Karolak, and Expedition Foundation presents a scholarship to Audrey Hiltner, and it's presented by Scott Storick. We have another couple of memorial scholarships. Billy Harper was a 2010 graduate from Coon Rapids High School, where he was a gifted athlete, honor student, and known for his terrific smile. Sadly, Billy passed away too soon at age 19 while a student at the University of Minnesota Duluth. Through the generosity and support of Billy's friends, Kevin and Julie Edner, CRCSA is honored to present a legacy scholarship in Billy's name. This year's Billy Harper Memorial Legacy Scholarship is awarded to Edward Tabla, and the presenter is Principal John Pena. Thanks to the generosity of Kevin and Julie Edner, a second Billy Harper Memorial Scholarship goes to Eric Anda. It is also presented by John Pena. The Mississippi Elementary PTO and CRCSA present two scholarships, the first of which goes to Paige Christensen. It is presented by Gary Smith. The second scholarship from Mississippi Elementary PTO and CRCSA goes to Drew Teagan. Edith Frazier was a media specialist and longtime librarian at Coon Rapids High School. Her son James generously provides for a scholarship in her name and is here to present the scholarship to Ella Borchert. Carol Austin, alumna in CRCSA, presents a scholarship to Victoria Thayer. The presenter is Amy Storick. No, it is not. That is not Amy Storick. Trevor?
Yeah, I'm the next one, Trevor Klein.
Trevor Klein has this one and the next one. I apologize. The recipient is Victoria Thayer. We'll get Victoria the scholarship. The Anoka Hennepin Education Minnesota and CRCSA present a scholarship to Sharon Avila Tellez, also presented by Trevor Klein. John Kennedy, alumnus, in recognition of his teachers and coaches at CRHS, presents a scholarship to Ganame Kasim, presented by Trevor Klein.
The next scholarship is the Coon Rapids Baseball Rec League Paul Perez Memorial Scholarship, also donated by Coon Rapids Community Scholarship Association. Paul Perez was a longtime coach and referee in the Coon Rapids Athletic Association. I coached with Paul. I also refereed with him. He was really a giant in youth sports. Just gave so much back to the community. Paul died in 2014 at the age of 59, way too young. And in his honor, the members of his family and others have donated for a memorial scholarship. So, presented by his wife, Dawn Perez, the first recipient is Gabby Olson. The second recipient is John Patru.
The Coon Rapids Swim and Dive Booster Club and CRCSA present a scholarship to Tommy Bellamy. The presenter is Becky Defoe. And the second Coon Rapids Swim and Dive Booster Club scholarship goes to Ava Weber. The Coon Rapids VFW Post 9625 has a legacy scholarship with CRCSA, and they and CRCSA present the first scholarship to Colton Burry. The presenter is CRCSA member John Bump. The second Coon Rapids VFW Post 9625 Legacy Scholarship goes to David Ebralize. And the final Coon Rapids VFW Post 9625 Scholarship goes to Ethan Ose.
As you know, Cindy Miller is a longtime member of our association. As a memorial to her parents, Cindy and members of the Landris family fund the Darlene and Edward Landris Memorial Scholarship. So this year's recipient is Aaron Casey, presented by Cindy Miller and Terry Kirsting. Oh, pardon me? Okay. All right, we do need to line up the next group of kids. So everybody else, 150 to the end. So let's line up everybody that's left there. Is Terry here too? Well, while we're lining people up, I just wanted to say that sometimes people wonder in the association and in the audience, how are the scholarships awarded? Is there some in that you have to get a higher scholarship? And that's absolutely not the case. The scholarships are awarded 75% on the basis of academic proficiency and 25% on the basis of community and other school activities. So these points are ranked by the guidance office, and none of us in the association know who has what points. So the more points you get, the higher your scholarship is, and depending on how many donations we have, that determines how much money we can give out each year. So basically, I want to again thank all the donors and all of you who've made this happen. It doesn't happen by accident. And there are 5 high schools in the Anoka-Hennepin District, and our Coon Rapids Community Scholarship Association gives out by far the most scholarships of any of the high schools, so we can all be very proud of that. And as I mentioned before, we will have a table out in the atrium somewhere, so if any of you are interested in joining the association, please stop by and talk to us. Okay, now I think maybe we can do the Darlene and Edward Landris Memorial Scholarship. And again, that is presented in memory of Cindy's parents and by the Landris family, and this is presented by Terry Kirsting and Cindy Miller to Aaron Casey, if he's available. Cindy here yet? Okay. We mentioned Judy and John Sabo earlier. Two of their children, Britt Sabo and her husband Jacob, and Olaf Sabo, their son, and his wife Circa Sabo, have given a scholarship in honor of their parents, John and Judy Sabo. This is presented by Julie Jensen. The recipient is Rachel Mock. And not to be outdone, even though they're retiring from the association, John and Judy Sabo have funded a scholarship in honor of their 3 children, who graduated here at Coon Rapids High School. And it's also funded by Kathleen Pales of American Family Insurance Agency. The recipient is Natulia Momo. The presenter is Stephanie Best. David Tom presents and awards a scholarship to Katie Dick. It is presented by Pete Spielbauer. The Coon Rapids Fast Pitch Association awards a scholarship to Mallory Krochak, presented by Jeff Thompson. Jeff Thompson also presents a scholarship donated by Kyle Shimo, an alumnus in Coon Rapids Fast Pitch Association. The recipient is Sam Samborski. John Kofsky was one of the founding members of our association. Along with Howard Courtmeyer, they volunteered their efforts to raise scholarship funds for graduating seniors here at the high school. He served his country in the Army National Guard during the Korean War, served to support veteran families in need through fundraising efforts over his lifetime. He loved nature and volunteered to clear trails for the parks and the boundary waters. He served many years in many ways. He loved his family, and a lifetime legacy has unfolded in the lives on through 7 children, 13 grandchildren, and 18 great-grandchildren. The Kofsky Family Scholarship in memory of John Kofsky, donated by Clarice, John, Sue, Al, Debbie, and Zach Kofsky, Zach and Ashley Gerard. Ashley is also our administrative person in CRCSA. It's presented by Ashley Gerard to Michaela Sullivan. The Coon Rapids Community Strength Foundation and Michael and Maria King alumni award a scholarship to Esther Oyen Tunde, presented by Scott Latta. And as you know, the Stork family have been stalwarts in our association. Amy Stork has also been at the school for many years, and her husband, Scott, is at the school and a coach, and their kids, Libby and Rob, have also been very active. And so the Storks Family Scholarship is given by Libby, Rob, Scott, and Amy. The presenters are Scott, Amy, and Rob Stork. The recipient is Anthony Ludwig. Janice Madison has given the Jim Madison Memorial Scholarship along with CRCSA. Jim Madison grew up in Austin, Minnesota, graduated from high school and married his junior high sweetheart Janice in 1961. They moved to Fridley and Okehennepin schools in '72. Jim spent 30 years teaching junior high and high school English. His older daughter Amy graduated from Coon Rapids in 1979, and the younger daughter Sarah in 1980. Both followed in their father's footsteps and became public school teachers. Jim was a firm believer in the importance and value of both public and higher education. He died unexpectedly at the end of March last year. And we are presenting a scholarship this year to Erica Barnes. The presenter is Cindy Miller. Jerry, who's an alumnus, and Marcia Andresco and Spire Credit Union give a scholarship to Sofia Ramos, presented by Pete Spielbauer. Toys for Joy and Coon Rapids Community Scholarship Association present a scholarship. The organization wanted that to go to a student who has gone above and beyond in giving back to the community. This year's recipient, Caitlin Fuller, presented by Association member Jill Appel. And also, I guess it's Finn and Maddie this time. They don't always tell me everything.
The Coon Rapids Kiwanis have long been a friend and supporter of CRCSA and many other worthy charities in the area. Earlier this year, the group made the difficult decision to cease operations and sunset the organization. However, in a final act of generosity, the Coon Rapids Kiwanis established a legacy scholarship that will fund an annual CRCSA scholarship in memory of Lewis Peterson in perpetuity. A bit about Lewis. In addition to being a revered leader of the Kiwanis, Lewis was a long-time assistant principal at Coon Rapids High School. He was very active in the community and was a friend to many. Lewis was actually a neighbor and friend of mine, and sadly passed away in 2018. He is missed but fondly remembered by his friends and family. We are honored to have CRCSA member Todd Mensick present the Coon Rapids Kiwanis in memory of Lewis Peterson Scholarship to Kylie Swenson.
The Coon Rapids North Star Lions and CRCSA present a scholarship to Mel Jackson, presented by Lion Mark Held. Sharon Keller, longtime teacher and coach at Coon Rapids High School, awards a scholarship. Sharon had some great athletic teams years ago. The recipient this year is Kate Califoot, presented by Gavay Piner. John Lenz, alumnus and breakthrough consulting in CRCSA, award a scholarship to Olivia Catico, presented by John Pena. John Pena also presents the Sand Creek Elementary PTO and CRCSA scholarship to Jaden Thomas. Amy Stork presents the Chuck and Pat McGee scholarship along with CRCSA to Kendall McCann. Our president, Jim Best, does a crack-up job. He also is in the business of charitable giving with Courage Center, and in recognition of his work, some of his cohorts have made a donation. It's called Dollars for Doers, and Jim and Kathy Best and Brett Gageby, alumnus, are also in this gift, and it goes to Alyssa Lee, and it's presented by Jim's daughter, Stephanie Best, who's also a member of our association. The Coon Rapids High School All-Class Reunion raised some funds that they generously gave to the association to give back to the community, so to speak. The presenter is Cindy Sarf, the recipient, Isuna Tucker. James Harker awards a scholarship to Nadia Abraham, presented by Gail Owen. Dr. Daniel Feeney and Janet Feeney and Russell Feeney. Daniel Feeney was an emeritus professor of vet radiology at the University of Minnesota. Janet was a longtime member of our association. The scholarship that they give this year goes to Alyssa Kirch, presented by Gail Owen. Alan and Therese Hamill have also been longtime donors. They are giving a scholarship this year to Natalie Noches, presented by Julie Jensen. And Julie Jensen also presents the Joseph Tazinski Alumnus Scholarship in honor of Jan Tazinski, also awarded by CRCSA. The recipient is Hillary Apollo. The Coon Rapids Service and Alexei Johnson award a scholarship to, I'm going to say, Tilly Jubilee Blanchard, awarded, presented by John Bump. Dow Wynn CPA does our accounting at our association, and along with Dylan Sorman, They are giving a scholarship this year to Juliana Cronier, presented by Board Member John Sanders. Terry Westra and CRCSA are giving a scholarship to Anthony Cromer, presented by Madeline Appel. Okay, the Livermore Girls ×3, Neil and Gail Livermore and Donald and Vicki Funfar alumni award a scholarship to Jenna Ostrom, presented by Todd Mensink. We have an additional Joe Miller Aloha Hero Memorial Scholarship. Terry Landris, Kirsting alumnus and CRCSA also donating. Recipient Anthony Tiedke, presenter is Terry Kirsting. And Terry Kirsting and Cindy Miller present the Darlene and Edward Landris Memorial Scholarship from the Landris family to Victoria Sixay. Coon Rapids Rotary Club and CRCSA award a scholarship to Wilbert Igiode, presented by Gave Piner. And Gave Piner also presents a scholarship from a donor who prefers to be anonymous. That's okay. The recipient is Aaron Oklu. Yakey. Relieve Care Incorporated and CRCSA scholarship goes to Ashley Chung, presented by Amy Storick. And Amy also presents the Marcia and Michael Baudino and CRCSA scholarship. Recipient is Jolene Yang. The Fridley Lions Club is awarding a number of scholarships. The first one goes to Bilasay Giroux, presented by Gary Smith, Vice President. And Gary also presents another Fridley Lions Club scholarship to Chloe Kubashevsky. Third one, presented by Gary from Fridley Lions Club, goes to Aiden Peterson. And the last Fridley Lions Club scholarship goes to Taylor Schlick, presented by Treasurer of CRCSA, Gail Owen. Luther North Country Ford Lincoln and CRCSA scholarship goes to Lena Mohammed, presented by Julie Jensen. The next scholarship is the Coughlin Family Scholarship. The Coughlin family gives this community scholarship because all of their kids received scholarships here at the Coon Rapids High School. And they hope to encourage other CRCHS families to give back to the high school and our association after their children finish training for their careers. So what a great thought. And so the Coughlin Family Scholarship goes to Athena Cooper, presented by Finn Appel. The Gary Simon Egan Family Scholarship given by John, Sherry, Barbara, Michael, Carolyn, and Thomas Egan alumni. The recipient is Fanani Abdullah, presented by John Bump. And John Bump also presents the scholarship. The donors are Celia Marshak, alumna, in honor of Kenneth and Lynn Marshak, also given by CRCSA. The recipient is Idhil Mohammed. The Anoka Hennepin Paraeducators Association and CRCSA award a scholarship to Isaiah Stoltenberg, presented by Cindy Sarf. Our board member John Sanders presents the scholarship donated by Brian and Brooke Liminen, who are alumni, and David Forsberg. The recipient is Chelsea Peterman.
Julia Cornell Smith is a counselor at Coon Rapids High School and is a dedicated and valued CRCSA member. Julia's father, Tom Cornell, passed away in December 2020 and was not only a respected teacher, coach, and businessman, he was also an avid Wilmer sports fan, a tireless volunteer, and force for good who lived by the golden rule. But most of all, Tom was a beloved husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, and friend to those who loved and missed him. Julia Cornell Smith will present, along with daughter and husband, the Tom Cornell Memorial Scholarship to Sophina Greiner.
The Lauer Family Fund, Greg Lauer and CRCSA, award a scholarship to Olivia Palzer, presented by Stephanie Best. The Rothstein Family Scholarship is given in memory of Peter Rothstein by Cindy, Aaron, and David Rothstein, and Sarah Rothstein-Lobbs, all alumni, and CRCSA. The presenter is Todd Mensink. The recipient is Julia Hamling.
We have another Memorial Legacy Scholarship here. The children of Marlis Dorff have taken great pleasure in establishing a legacy scholarship with CRCSA in her name. For over 30 years, Marlis was a dedicated teacher at Coon Rapids High School, first as a full-time business teacher and then in her later years as a substitute. In addition to a life focused on education, she was a voracious reader and enjoyed an enduring zest for travel, both domestically as well as internationally. Marlis always had a special affinity for Coon Rapids High School and was a longtime supporter of the Scholarship Fund. As I mentioned, her children, Scott Dorff, class of 75, Stacy Dorff Randall, class of 79, and Stephanie Dorff Libis take great pride in providing this scholarship and establishing a perpetual legacy scholarship in Marlis's honor. And best wishes to this year's recipient as well as to those recipients in future classes. This year's recipient of the Marlis Dorff Legacy Scholarship is Jada Dawson, and presenting the award on behalf of the Dorff family is Jurley Jensen.
The Geraldine Peterson Memorial Scholarship given by the Peterson family goes to Allie Hansen, presented by Cindy Miller. The Rebecca Frost Alumna Scholarship in CRCSA is awarded to Lamisha Kareem, presented by Amy Storick. Now there's some good news and bad news. The good news is we've got some scholarships to be awarded to baseball players, and the bad news is I don't think they're here because they're playing a baseball game. So we'll just have to see if anybody's gotten back in time, but I don't think so. But the Coon Rapids High School Boys Basketball Booster Club and CRCSA first awards a scholarship to Alex Sullivan, presented by John Pena. Then we have Coon Rapids Cardinal Little League and Ken and Pat Sundstrom Scholarship. This is going to go to Evan Beck, presented by Scott Latta. And I'm not sure if we have a stand-in or not. But and the next scholarship for the Coon Rapids Little League and CRCSA, presented by Scott Latta, would go to Mark Manders. Okay. And even if somebody gets the wrong envelope, they don't get to keep it. So. Then we have one more, Coon Rapids Cardinal Little League and CRCSA scholarship goes to Colin McCullough, if he's available. Presented by Scott Latta. Thanks, Scott. All right, get this. Our final scholarship of the evening is also kind of a special one. It's the Howard Courtmeyer Scholarship, and besides the fact that it's given in memory of somebody named Howard, it's also memorable for another reason. Howard Courtmeyer was a longtime guidance counselor here at Coon Rapids High School. He started when the school opened back in 1964, which is a long time ago. Howard retired in 1987, but before doing that, back in 1966, along with some others, he founded this association. And I think as Jim mentioned, the first year there were 24 scholarships given out for $4,000. But the people that were here before I and the others put the hard work into this and have built this association up to what it was and what it is now. So Howard died in 2013, and we always award a scholarship in his memory for all the hard work that he put in starting this association. So the recipient of the Howard Courtmeyer Memorial Scholarship this year is Haley Montenegro, presented by board members Gail Owen and John Sanders. So before we close for tonight, and I know Jim has a few brief closing remarks, I just want to say a few things. I know that they say old lawyers never die, they just lose their appeal. But I don't want to lose my appeal by talking too long, but you've gone through a difficult period in our country's history before you graduated, going through the pandemic and other things, and you've had to have your school altered, and now you're going to move on to further education. And you know, there's things in our society that we have a problem with. We seem to not be able to disagree about things without being so disagreeable. So civility and good manners seem to have disappeared in life. And I hope we can get back to a time period where this doesn't happen. But as you go on your way to the next level, there'll be a time where you have to make a decision, where you have to decide if you see something that's wrong that you have to stop it. If there's bullying, you got to say, stop that. If you see somebody being the victim of something, you've got to step in and do something, because if we don't do that as a society, we really have nothing. And so it's easy as we sit here today and we give out all these scholarships and everything is going real well. It's easy to have a good time, but there'll be a time in your life that you're going to have some things go wrong. You're going to have a professor that doesn't treat you fairly. You're going to have an employer that doesn't treat you fairly. You're going to have friends that aren't there for you. But I was actually got a fortune cookie the other day, and it says, most of these are pretty dumb, but it says, a true friend is someone who is there for you when he or she would rather be anywhere else. So continue to be a friend to each other, and when you have the opportunity to give back to the community, it won't be tomorrow, it may not be next year, it might be 5 years from now, it might be 10 years from now. But give back to the community because you'll never regret it. So again, congratulations as you go on your way to the next level, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. Great words. Well, we got through it. I will tell you, believe it or not, we did the best we could. I just want to give a couple reminders real quick here and some wrapping up remarks. Please, everybody, a reminder that out in the atrium, please join us for refreshments and time to visit. And be sure to stop by Laura Wallace's table. I just want to read one thing here. We've got just a reminder on Legacies by Laura. They specialize in everything from family photos to large events, and they excel in coaching real smiles and capturing the joy in every moment. She does that, no question. Laura began photographing at age 16 and never put the camera down. She's a native of Coon Rapids, runs her growing business while soaking up every minute of being a new mom. She can make special accommodations for grad parties or other events, so please stop and see her when you have a chance. That brings us to a close. This year's scholarships of $257,600 brings the grand total for the 58 years of Coon Rapids Community Scholarship Association to, get this, over $5.1 million. Thank you again to our generous donors, without whom none of this would be possible. To our friends at CTN, Ryan Hedman in the sound booth, and to everyone who made this Scholarship Awards night possible. I'd also like to extend one more thank you to all CRCSA members for their continued efforts. And on behalf of my colleagues, especially my co-MC Howard Helgen, who did his usual exceptional job, congratulations to all the students. We're all very proud of you and extend our best wishes for a successful future and the hope that you do good things. Thank you again to everyone here and everyone watching at home. Good night.